Look at the size of this box. Oh my goodness. I must admit though, it is a really good looking box. I love this artwork. Welcome back to the channel, guys, or welcome here if it's your first time. In today's video, I'm reviewing the Moondrop Para planar magnetic headphones. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? David here from Prime Audio Reviews. I had to get rid of that box because it is so big, although it is a really nice box. But inside you get these. Now these are the Moondrop Para headphones, coming in at $299. Inside of these we've got ultra large 100mm planar drivers. That is large, and an all metal build. And I must say, the build quality here is absolutely exquisite. I mean, look at that. Is that gorgeous or what? So you got a spring steel headband, perforated. Oh, everything just lovely. There's a nice large leather strap under the headband there to distribute the weight evenly on your head. I will say these are heavy. They are really heavy, but you know what? They are very comfortable, thanks largely in part to that big headband there and a low clamping force. So despite being super heavy, they're actually very comfortable headphones to wear. Now you do get a bit of a size adjustment there, so for you aliens with huge heads, you should be alright. I have them on the smallest size there. They do swivel just a tiny bit, but they pivot as well, so they actually conform to the shape of your head pretty nicely. Let's just move the headphones aside for a moment, and I want to bring in the cable. That's it there. I think this is the same cable that came with the Void headphones. It's just a fabric braided cable. Nothing special about it, but it is very lightweight. It's quite flexible. It handles well, and overall, it's a pretty good cable. It doesn't feel or look very premium, but in terms of performance, it handles really nicely. But back to the headphones now, and as far as I know, pretty sure this is only Moondrop's second attempt at a planar headphone. The first one was the Venus, which I did not get to try. I don't have it, so I can't compare it. And supposedly the Venus was even heavier than these, which is just ridiculous, to be honest. But like I said, I don't have them to compare. Look, these have had so much burn-in because I've been using these for like 2 months, 3 months. I'm so behind in all my reviews. It's not even funny anymore, but trust me, these are burned in. So let's talk about how they sound. Neutral, bright tonality overall. We'll start off with the bass response, and the bass is tight and controlled. It offers excellent quality. However, there is a sense of restraint in the lower frequencies. The bass lacks some depth and it lacks impact, and while it doesn't really command attention or it doesn't really have that authority, this nice controlled bass lends space and openness to the lower mid-range, which contributes to a more expansive soundstage. But personally, I would like a little bit more power, a little bit more richness and fullness in the bass. Now regarding the mid-range, I'd say the mid-range is spacious and it's clear. It's got very good clarity throughout. The upper mids are vibrant and detailed, yet they can become somewhat thin, especially when you turn the volume up. Vocals maintain their articulation and detail, although there is a tendency for the vocals to lack richness. And overall, I'd say the mid-range is resolving, but it does exhibit some slight thinness under certain conditions. I find the mids here particularly good for electronic and classical music, but things like rock music where there's a lot of screeching electric guitars or high-pitched female vocals, or even male vocals that are belting it out, it can get a little bit shouty. And then for the treble, I'd say the high frequencies of the Para They are lively and they possess a hint of sparkle, yet they are reasonably smooth without any noticeable dissonant peaks. So there isn't any noticeable sort of peaks that jump up here and there that sort of sound out of place. It's all pretty even. And furthermore, the treble handles sibilance fairly well. However, these headphones do tend to reveal shortcomings in poorly mastered tracks. So if you've got a sibilant recording, you're going to hear that sibilance and it's not masked in any way by the Para here. But despite the Para's tendency towards brightness, like that brighter tonality, the detail retrieval is only average at best, which is probably my biggest disappointment with these. So with that said, let's move on to the soundstage and technicalities. And the soundstage is wide, as you'd expect for open back headphones. The soundstage is nice and wide, but it is somewhat shallow going forward and back, and so you get really good left and right stereo imaging. So for example, if you've got a sound that travels from the right to the left, you get a nice clear representation of that. However, in a 3D sort of holographic sense, not so much. I'd say the instrument separation and the overall resolution are good. Instruments and vocal density is respectable, and the center image is nice and stable, which provides consistent and well-defined central placement of sound elements within that audio space or the soundstage. So the imaging is decent, it's just a little two-dimensional. So let's do a little comparison, just a quick comparison now with the Hi-Fi Man Sundara. And if I remember correctly, there is a second edition of this one, but I've got the original Sundara here, and to be honest, to be blunt or frank, I prefer the Sundara, straight up. It's got a warmer tonality, it's got a more inviting tonality, it's got more bass presence, it's got a bit more power and thump in the mid bass, it's got a little bit deeper sub bass reach as well. And in addition to that, it's got warmer, richer mid-range. It sounds more natural to me, and the treble is not as forward either. And despite that, however, I would say the resolution of the Sundara is actually better than the Para here. Now, I've got nothing against a brighter, sort of more transparent tuning, but if I do get that, I would expect to have better detail retrieval on that brighter headphone. But actually, in actual fact, the Sundara is on par, equal, or maybe even just slightly better at detail retrieval than the Para, which leaves me a little bit confused. I'm not sure exactly what happened there. So the Moondrop Para headphones, look, the standout feature of these is unquestionably the build and the build quality. They feel built like a tank. They feel very durable. I'm sure they will last a long time. Oh, by the way, I forgot something. Check this out. I do appreciate the magnetic earpad holders, or I don't know what to call them, but you can just snap them on and off like that. That is really good. More headphones need to do this. So in terms of, physical build and design and everything, I think Moondrop have really nailed these. But in terms of pure audio quality, I think they still have a ways to go. And having said that, I'm going to wrap it up here. So guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, PowerFM audiophile style. And if you did or have purchased the Moondrop Para, leave me a comment down below and just let me know how you feel about it. Especially if you have sort of a few different pairs of sets of headphones on hand for comparison. Like, honestly, I think I even prefer my Beyerdynamic DT990 Pros over these, just because they've got that nice deep bass response, and on top of that they have excellent detail retrieval, and that's something that I just missed here. But I don't mean to be extremely harsh or negative about these. I think they are good, But overall, the audio quality is just kind of but the build is yes. So anyway, if you are new here and you want to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. And until next time, I'll see you later.